know, it's funny going back a little bit to how you mentioned that these were, you know, the traditional ones, and this felt alien to you.
So this is what you started.
And this felt alien to me. Wow. To me, I was like, people embroider with a circle hoop.
There is about a quarter of a century of difference between when
So when I got these, I was like, I feel like I'm at home again, but it's like an upgraded version of my home. In today's video, we're gonna be reviewing the Mighty Hoops together for the first time. You guys will never have to see any other review because we got this covered.
Yes, we do, and I'm so happy Ken's here because a little bit of my background is production based. We did commercial embroidery for decades. This product was not invented when we did commercial embroidery. So you're the man who's going to teach me a few things today, Ken, but I'm excited about this. So we need to let you know, full disclosure, we now are officially affiliated with Mighty Hoops. We are so excited. Ken, do you want to fill them in about how this works?
That's right, so make sure to click our link in the description to get a special bonus just from us, as well as make sure to put Legacy when checking out so you guys get free shipping in the US. So the first thing we want to know is, what are the Mighty Hoops? So John, can you tell us what they are?
Well, I think there's two pieces to the puzzle because there is the Mighty Hoops and there's also the Hoop Master. So it's really a combination of products that if you have both, they work perfectly together. But if you just have the Mighty Hoops, it's still a big thumbs up.
And do you remember what this one is?
No, I don't, because this is your deal. Remember, Ken?
Okay, that's right. Let's do a little tutorial for John Deere right now. First of all, right here, this is called a T-square. Yep. You're teaching me, actually.
Well, that I do know. T-squares, we used it in the graphics industry for many years before they had computers.
Yeah, T-squares, which you can actually use to center the design. This is 0 going 1 inch, 2 inches. So whenever you want to center a design, you would go from here to all the way to 10 inches. As well as this one, you can actually move it to the left side or to the right. Well, actually to the left side, or you can turn it around, which will help you start from 0. Let's say you wanted 8 inches, so 8 by 8. Then you would put it in center.
If you have a towel that is 18 inches in width, you basically can set it to the 9-inch mark, and that way you're going to be directly centered.
Pretty much
everything you do. That's pretty cool.
What I love about this here, I'll actually let you do it.
Okay.
You can separate.
Now, little disclosure. These magnets are probably the most powerful magnets I've ever seen. I have actually pinched my So be careful, guys. There is actually things on here which tell you to be careful with regards to pacemakers. Don't put it near electronics, anything of that nature, because these are going to give you lots and lots of power.
Have you pinched your stomach yet?
I have not.
Okay, good. I have, yeah. So you want to avoid that.
The good news is I don't have to do that now because I've been warned, right?
That's right, yeah. You put in this bottom part of the hoop in, then your stabilizer would go here. So you stabilizer in there so it won't go anywhere.
But now I have one question because I did notice, I did play around with this a little bit before you, but I noticed here there's a little piece that actually has a optional piece that goes a little forward and a little back.
That's right.
Do you know what that's for?
I do not know actually because I don't read instructions. But to me, what I imagine it does is it actually stops the hoop from getting out at all.
That's
so
right.
It does, right?
That's what I would guess.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Because and just so you know, I think that's exactly the purpose for it, is that it will allow you to put your hoop in. And if you have it fixed in this upward position like this, it has it fixed in, but when you do actually use this and clamp it down, it still lifts up, but it leaves that intact.
Yes.
So I think you have the option of either having it on or off.
That's true.
These actually fit perfectly in place to the, I guess, the nuts that are on the back or the bolts. So it just lies in there, and gravity does its thing. It pushes forward, and you're pretty much done. And the best part is, can I do this part too?
Of course you can.
This is the most fun. This is the magical moment. Once everything is in place, your stabilizer is in place, it's lined up perfectly to the exact X and Y, horizontal and vertical placement. All you do is that, right? and then you remove your item, and it's going to be perfectly hooped every time with the stabilizer.
That is the freestyle, guys.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice, super neat. I feel like this is probably one of the things that I've been using for doing testing too, actually. That's been my favorite thing. It's just so much fun to use. Guys, I never used the T-square, but...
Yeah, well, I think the T-square would be perfect for,
Yes.
as you said, like items like
Towels,
towels,
that's
or
right.
if you're doing even tote bags,
Mhm.
tote
Yeah.
bags, or place settings like placemats, anything like that, or even napkins. You know, anything that has
yeah.
anything that has a square or rectangular dimensions that are consistent. Okay.
So this comes off. You can put it either on the left side, you can put it in the center, you can put it on the right side. And you'll see that there's a little hole here that matches to one of these numbers. And the reason they made that is so that once you put this on and you get the right measurements for that shirt, you can record that number and always remember that's where you have to put it.
So you might make a little ledger, so to speak,
That's right.
on your iPad, so you know that when that certain type of golf shirt comes in from whatever manufacturer,
Yep.
and you can have your sizes, you know exactly which number to do it in, and it's a matter of seconds and you're set up ready.
Pretty much, yeah. So you want to try putting that on?
Sure. Yep. So I'm going to just find here, and I'm going to use number 10.
Yeah.
And let's just see if it goes in place. Actually, it goes right in place. And one thing I can tell is the durability and the craftsmanship of everything that you have here. No matter which piece or accessory you have, you can tell that these are made to last and to be used in a commercial environment. And that is really important, especially if you're running a business, making money with embroidery.
There is one more option to add on to the Hoop Master, and that is the two brackets, which are used with this hoop right here. We currently don't have them with us right now, but that's still pretty nice to know, because when you're using wire hoops like this, then the two brackets similar to this, you can put one in the bottom, one at the top, and you mark them exactly the way you want.
I know in the commercial days, we actually had a factory running that just had our multi-head equipment, and we had 24 head and 18 head machines in there. So we were running high production, and we would have one operator for a 24 head machine, which meant that we did have hooping stations, areas. They were fabric or garment tables that were kind of retrofitted with what we called spiders and jigs. We didn't have these wonderful things back then, but we kind of, made our own with the equipment that was available at the time. And the biggest thing was keeping up with the machine, especially when you have a design that might have, 5,000 to 7,000 stitches, left chest with maybe only 3 or 4 colors, which, to be quite honest, that's how you're going to make money with embroidery. You know, running designs with 30 or 40,000 stitches.
Low count.
Yeah, I mean, it looks impressive, and you are going to get paid based on the embroidery, but where you really make money with embroidery is having a certain target for colors as well as stitch count. I always said that anywhere between 5,000 to 11,000 stitches was my target, where I knew I would make the most money on my machine, because I would have the most output of garments coming off of it at any one time. That was always the hardest part, was keeping up with production. The person who was doing the hooping, you had 24 garments coming off at a time. You got to be quick.
Yeah.
Right? So this would make it quick. So I think that you could almost keep up with probably 4 or 5 or 6 machines, one person operating the machines. And if you're doing sweatshirts, you'd have enough time to just pop it over, slap it down, and you're ready to go.
How do you feel about the old, in your experience, the old traditional hoops compared to this?
Well, I just happen to have a couple here, but when we did embroidery commercially on Tajimas, we ran Tajima equipment since pretty much day one. Our first multi-head was a Tajima, and they did come with standard round hoops. And I was always a huge advocate of round hoops. I had never really seen a smaller hoop in a square or rectangular shape until I came into the home embroidery industry, and I saw that hoops were kind of, looking like this. And I was a little shocked, to be honest. I was surprised, because it was like, what are these people thinking? That's what went through my head. Because the beauty of a round hoop is when you actually hoop this, you're going to get equal tension all the way around your fabric, which means that when you digitize a design, and I know you're a digitizer, you will digitize a design based on push and pull compensation. And that, in its best case scenario, will always be equal if your hoop has equal tension.
Okay.
When you take a hoop like this, even if you have a design that was, let's say, digitized properly, I did something for a round hoop, I might actually send this to a home embroiderer who has a hoop that's this shape, and the sample ran perfectly on my machine, and they ran it on this machine, and they're having some registration issues. And the main reason why is these rectangular hoops without magnets are only really being held in 4 places securely. Those 4 tight corners that you see is where you are getting the best tension within that piece of material.
Okay.
On these straightaways, you have material that is not as secure as the corners, and that's where you're going to get that pull of your material. This is the beauty of the Mighty Hoops. When you look at this, those 4 corners are no longer an issue, because I can guarantee you it'll hurt just as much getting your finger trapped on the straightaway as it does the corners, right?
Or the belly, guys.
Yeah, or the belly. I mean, and this is what I love about it. No matter how large your hoops are getting with the Mighty Hoops, I mean, we have some pretty large hoops here.
Yeah.
You're going to get even tension all the way around the larger hoop in the same way you will the smaller hoop. Keeping in mind, I would still probably work within standard embroidery principles, which means if I have a left chest design, I'll probably use a hoop this size and not a hoop this size.
Right.
You're always going to be reasonable with the physics of embroidery, but these are incredible. And I can guarantee you, if you have, this is a hoop from a 10 needle brother machine, and it is, a large hoop. It is, pretty secure, but again, these straightaways are always going to give us an issue.
So same as this, even though that's for multi-needle, like it would still give you the same issue?
It's still going to give me the same issue. I either have to do little tricks by using T-pins, or I might try to wrap the hoop. I might use some spongy materials to build windows where I actually am getting more security with it.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to have some problematic areas within a hoop like this, unless you can use this type of equipment here.
How have you noticed the hoop burn now compared to
it's pretty much non-existent. In the commercial days, we actually had steamers. Okay, the handheld steamers, so the commercial steamers, not the steam that would come out of an iron, but we would have those steamers that had the little, water reservoir with that arm that came up, and you actually had a handle that would have steam coming out of it.
Yep.
And we had steamers at every machine.
Ooh,
when the person who was doing the embroidery would take off the stabilizer, clean it up, they would have a steamer there so that when they removed it from this hoop, you would have a little bit of a hoop burn or shadow of that area where it got crushed.
Yeah.
With these hoops, you're eliminating, you've pretty much eliminated the hoop burn altogether.
Yeah.
Because it's not pinching the same way. It's just holding it nice and flat between the magnets. This product is incredible. It is one of those game changers in the industry. When they came up with this whole principle and this idea, I think that every embroiderer who has a multi-needle machine should be using this product.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's funny, going back a little bit to how you mentioned that these were, the traditional ones, and this felt alien to you, because I started with a single needle machine.
So this is what you started.
And this felt alien to me.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, people embroider with a, with a circle hoop?
There is about a quarter of a century of difference between them.
So when I got these, I was like, I feel like I'm at home again, but it's like an upgraded version of my home.
Definitely. And that is an upgraded version of this as well.
That's right, yeah.
So
it really
both
is.
of us are having the benefit of working with something that I think is, in my opinion, the new industry standard.
So what machines work with the Mighty Hoops? And the answer is, it depends on the machine, but Mighty Hoop has a lot of machines available. And the way that they've done it is they've created these brackets, which you can remove, and they send you the specific brackets depending on the machine you have.
There is a very extensive list on their website that shows all of the different machines that are associated with the brackets. And that goes down from the Tajima 15 needle machines to the Tajima Sai machine, they will show you the specific hoops that are available for each model.
So make sure that when you're browsing on the site, you just find your right machine. So John, can we use these hoops on a single needle machine?
Well, I know that Hoop Master has created certain platforms or bases for home machines. As far as the magnetic hoops themselves, currently they are dedicated specifically to multi-needle machines and the brackets associated with the tubular arms on those machines. I also do know that a lot of the manufacturers of the home machines are offering magnetic hoops now as an option specifically made by those brands.
Okay.
But what I have seen as well is that any of those hoops, as far as the strength of the magnets. Hold on. You might have to do this, you're a lot stronger. But the strength of the magnets within these are not comparable.
You guys can do it, probably.
I was joking. I can do this, okay?
Yeah, we can. Anyone can do it.
Hold on.
For now, Mighty Hoop doesn't have any magnetic hoops for single needle machines. These are more dedicated to the multi-needle machines, and I think it's because it's on both sides. I think that's what causes the most stability on machines, wouldn't you say?
Yes, the brackets that are associated with each brand of machine, they ensure that there's not going to be any play within the arm.
Right.
I mean, an embroidery machine is pretty simple. If you have a hoop that fits within the bracket and it clicks in place, then you know you're not going to have any movement on that frame. If you even have a millimeter or two of movement or play, that is going to affect the quality of the embroidery in that. So they've made sure that all of the brackets are custom made for your specific brand of machine that you own. I'll also let you know that we have incredible respect for the Mighty Hoop family because it is a family business much like our own that has been in this industry for decades, and their, need for inventing these products come from a commercial background. And that is probably why they are so, dedicated, useful, and perfect for the environment that they're needed for.
I would say they really have invented my favorite accessory for machine embroidery.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. I had the opportunity of meeting Jesse, and I did say that to him specifically, that this is a product, in my opinion, that has revolutionized the industry.
Yeah, thank you guys for creating it. I hope you guys that are watching get a chance to try them out and you enjoy them as much as we do.
Yeah.
So once again, where can you get them? Clicking the link in the description, getting that bonus, and putting in Legacy when checking out so you guys get that free shipping in the US.
If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and make sure you watch this video next.
Click this one next, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm Butthead, this is Beavis.
Great start to the video.
Yeah.